Continuing from our previous section on the department's role in regulating compensation, it is essential to understand that the Arizona Department of Real Estate, ADRE, not only governs how licensees handle money, but also holds authority to investigate and take disciplinary action when violations occur. These disciplinary powers, however, are limited by specific timeframes established under Arizona Revised Statutes, Section 322153A, and Arizona Revised Statutes, Section 32-2153B. Understanding these distinctions helps licensees recognize how long the department may lawfully pursue action for misconduct and emphasizes the importance of maintaining proper records throughout a licensee's career. Under ARS, Section 322153A, the Real Estate Commissioner has broad authority to deny, suspend, or revoke a license, or to impose disciplinary action for any conduct that violates the statutes, rules, or professional standards established by the state. This includes acts such as misrepresentation, negligence, commingling of funds, or unlicensed activity. The department can investigate such violations while a person is actively licensed, and in some cases, even after their license has expired or been voluntarily terminated, provided the misconduct occurred while the license was active. The key distinction lies in the timeframe permitted for the department to take action. Under ARS Section 32-2153A, disciplinary actions can be initiated at any time during the period that a license is active. For example, if a broker engages in fraudulent advertising while their license is valid, the department retains the authority to investigate and impose discipline for that conduct, as long as the license remains active. This ensures that the department can protect the public immediately and does not have to wait for external proceedings or delays in the discovery of a violation. However, once a license becomes inactive or expires, ARS Section 322153B imposes a limitation on how long the department may act. Specifically, the statute provides that if a person's license has expired, been revoked, or been surrendered, the department may still proceed with a disciplinary investigation or action, but only if it is initiated within 5 years of the alleged violation. This 5-year window ensures fairness by preventing indefinite exposure to disciplinary actions for past conduct, while allowing sufficient time for the department to uncover and act on misconduct that may not have been immediately discovered. For example, suppose a broker allowed unlicensed assistants to negotiate lease agreements in 2020, but the misconduct was not discovered until 2024. Even if the broker's license expired in 2022, the ADRE could still open an investigation and impose sanctions because the action occurred within 5 years of the violation, consistent with Arizona Revised Statutes, Section 32-2153B. However, if the violation occurred in 2015 and the department did not discover it until 2023, the commissioner would be barred from taking new disciplinary action since the 5-year statute of limitation would have expired. Another important distinction between subsections A and B is that Section 32-2153A applies to both licensees and current applicants for licensure, whereas Section 32-2153B focuses primarily on post-licensure activity after a license has lapsed or been surrendered. This means that even if a person attempts to reapply for a real estate license, the department can deny the application if it discovers prior misconduct that occurred while the individual was licensed, provided the violation falls within the allowable timeframe for disciplinary action. In practice, this timeframe is crucial for maintaining orderly regulation and fairness. It allows the department to pursue bad actors without imposing an indefinite threat of punishment for long past actions. It also emphasizes the importance of maintaining records for an appropriate period. Since the department may audit or investigate activity from several years prior, Brokers are required under ARS Section 32215 1.01b to retain transaction records for at least 5 years from the date of closing or termination. This record-keeping requirement aligns closely with the department's 5-year authority to investigate post-license violations, ensuring that the necessary documentation is available during that window. The ADRE also uses these statutes to determine how to handle complaints received after a licensee leaves the profession. For instance, if a former salesperson is accused of taking undisclosed compensation during a transaction 4 years before their license expired, the department retains full authority to investigate and, if warranted, issue a disciplinary order. Such an order remains a public record and can impact the individual's ability to reapply for licensure or work in other professional fields that require a clean record. It is also important to understand that even though a licensee may no longer hold an active license, the department can still take disciplinary action for conduct that occurred while licensed. This means surrendering or allowing a license to lapse does not shield a person from accountability. The law prevents individuals from escaping discipline by simply not renewing their license after engaging in misconduct. This principle was upheld in multiple administrative rulings, where the commissioner proceeded with disciplinary hearings against former licensees within the statutory 5-year period. Furthermore, when the department receives a complaint that alleges criminal activity, such as fraud or embezzlement, the 5-year limit does not prevent the department from referring the case to law enforcement or the Arizona Attorney General for criminal prosecution. While the department's administrative jurisdiction may expire after 5 years, criminal charges can still be pursued separately under applicable criminal statutes of limitation. Review summary. In this section, you learn that the department's authority to investigate and discipline is governed by ARS Section 3221553A and Section 3221553B. Under subsection A, the commissioner may take disciplinary action at any time while the license is active. Under subsection B, the department may continue to investigate and impose discipline up to 5 years after a license has expired, been surrendered, or revoked, provided the misconduct occurred while the license was active. This framework ensures both fairness to licensees and accountability for professional misconduct. It also aligns with the statutory record-keeping requirement that brokers maintain transaction files for at least 5 years, ensuring that evidence remains available if the department initiates an investigation within the allowed timeframe. Discussion. What is the primary difference between ARS Section 32-2153A and Section 32-2153B? Answer. Section 32-2153A applies to disciplinary actions taken while the license is active, while Section 32-2153B allows the department to act within 5 years after a license has expired or been surrendered. Why does the department have a 5-year limit under Section 32-2153B? Answer. To balance fairness to licensees with the department's need to pursue violations that may not be discovered immediately. How does the record-keeping requirement in Arizona revised statutes, Section 32215.01b, relate to these disciplinary timeframes? Answer. Brokers must retain records for 5 years to ensure documents are available if the department opens an investigation within that same statutory period. Can the department discipline a former licensee after their license has expired? Answer. Yes, if the violation occurred while the license was active and the department initiates the action within 5 years of the misconduct. What happens if the department discovers a violation more than 5 years after it occurred? Answer. The department cannot pursue administrative discipline under Section 32-2153B, though criminal prosecution may still be possible under other laws. Closing remarks. The timeframes outlined in ARS Section 32-2153A and Section 32-2153B reflect Arizona's commitment to fairness, accountability, and due process in real estate regulation. They ensure that licensees remain responsible for their actions while providing a clear boundary for when the department may act. Understanding these time limitations helps licensees maintain accurate records, remain transparent in their business dealings, and appreciate the importance of compliance throughout their careers. The ADRI's enforcement of these rules reinforces both public protection and professional integrity in Arizona's real estate industry.